Hello, my lovely things. Welcome back to the cavern, and happy Friday. The two Japanese urban legends I'm going to tell you tonight are called the Red Room and Kiyotaki Tunnel. The Red Room urban legend reminded me of the anime Hellgirl, which I don't know if any of you are familiar with, and I don't know where you can stream it right now because I know Crunchyroll doesn't have it, and Funimation only has, I think, season 3, and they may not even have that anymore. The show is only 3 seasons. It's short. It's actually one of my favorites. And if you can find it, I strongly recommend you watch it because it's horror-based and it is kind of disturbing. I'll admit that. However, the show isn't for everyone. Some people have a hard time watching it because it does revolve a lot around death. So just keep that in mind beforehand. So Hellgirl revolves around a website where the victim inputs the name of their tormentor, and Hellgirl appears with a doll wearing a red string around its neck. By pulling the string, the victim agrees to the contract that they will punish their tormentor to hell effective immediately. However, they also doom their soul to hell as well, just not immediately, but when they die. Hellgirl will ferry their soul to hell. The Red Room story is slightly different though, but before we get there, I ask you to click the subscribe and like buttons to join the fandom. You won't be disappointed, I promise you that. It is an amazing group. So, according to legend, a student with some friends is approached by a fellow classmate, and the classmate asks them if they knew about the Red Room, a strange pop-up that online that appears. In response, the individual with his friends says they have no idea what they're talking about. However, that night, they rush home in search of the mysterious Red Room. After scouring the web for hours, a small window completely in red appears. Text suddenly scrolls across, asking, "Do you like it?" The student immediately closes the window, only to have it reappear. Closing the window over and over again, only to have the box reappear with a new word added to the original question, until the words, "Do you like the Red Room?" appear. The voice of a child is also heard, repeating the question, even though the computer speakers and volume are set to mute. At that very moment, the screen changes to completely black, and a list of names appears. Scrolling through, the individual notices at the bottom of the page the name of the person who had mentioned the Red Room to them earlier that day. Soon after, they lose consciousness. The next day at school, their friends and classmates notice they're missing. After class, they hear the terrible news that their friend was found dead, their bedroom walls painted red with blood. Pretty creepy, if you ask me. Just pretty creepy. Hiotaki Tunnel still exists in Japan. You can actually visit this if you go to Japan. The structure was built in 1929 with an original length of 444 meters, while today it measures roughly 320 meters. The original length of the tunnel is enough to send shivers and fear through everyone in Japan because the number 4 is associated with death. If you remember my video regarding the superstitions surrounding numbers, be sure to check that out if you haven't. The card will be up on the screen. So in Japanese, the number 4 can be pronounced both yon and shi. The last variant is very similar to the pronunciation of a kanji, which means death. Oh, I can't talk today. However, this isn't the sole reason for the legend. The place where the structure was built had been in the Namboku period, which took place between 1336 and 1392, which was the scene of many battles where many people lost their lives in violent ways. Obvious, war is not nice. The place became a cemetery for the nameless soldiers as well. So, the fear of the tunnel arose again in 1998 when a girl was found dead within the tunnels. There are also those who say that inside the tunnel you can hear women moaning, sometimes crying, or you can see the ghost of a woman or one of the many workers who died during the construction of the tunnel. There is even the legend about the traffic light at the entrance to this tunnel. The tunnel is an alternate one-way, and the traffic light helps channel the cars from both directions. But according to legend, if you arrive in front of the tunnel and find the green light, you should stop and wait for the light to turn red. Only after the green light has gone on again is it safe to pass. Now, the reason behind this is the previous green light could have been a trick of a ghost who wants you to let them in so they can torment you, or to cause you to have a horrible accident. If instead you see in the mirror on the side of the road, and the mirrors that I'm talking about are the ones that help you see blind spots, the face of a woman, then great misfortune will happen to you within 4 days. Similar to the Ring Girl, except hers is 7 days instead of 4 days. The belief is prominent today to where it's not uncommon to see cars standing still waiting for a red light to go on. So they may actually sit there during a green light and of the red light and then go for the second green light, which I thought was interesting. Do you have any creepy urban legend stories? Let me know in the comments below, or you can DM them to me on Twitter or Instagram. I'm curious, and if you wouldn't mind, I would share them with the viewers of the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic night. Next week, I'll be reviewing Nightmare Alley, which I know isn't really a horror movie, but it has some kind of creepy elements and horrifying elements in there. I'll also discuss the fear of black cats and dogs and share some information about the Bunny Man and Cropsy, which I don't know if any of you are familiar with, but be sure to watch those. Don't want to miss those videos. Click the bell icon to keep up to date on all your horror needs. Take care and have a great weekend, everyone.